All right, I am one classes. Today, I'm just going to have a quick introduction to what an angle is. Uh, for an angle, I have a diagram here. It is two rays joined together at a single point called the vertex. The rays are called the sides. And what we're talking about today is how to name an angle. There are three ways to name this angle. The first is by its vertex. So you can just call this angle A. It's important to have that little angle symbol there so we know that you are talking about an angle. The next way to name an angle is by using the sides as well. So you can either name it angle BAC or angle CAB. What I want you to notice is that the vertex, when you're naming it using all the letters, is in the middle. So you name it as if you were tracing it, as if you were drawing it. So it'd be like angle BAC, right? The vertex is always in the middle when you are naming it. For this one, again, you can just use the vertex to name it. But those are the three ways to name this angle. You might have a diagram that's a little bit more complicated. There are actually three angles in this diagram. And we can't just use the vertex to name any one of the angles because all three angles share the same vertex. So you need to use the sides when you have something like this so you're specific which angle you're talking about. Notice each of the names has an angle symbol next to it. Again, that's so we know you're talking about an angle. But the three angles in this diagram, there's angle W, X, Y. So W, X, Y. All right, or you can go opposite Y, X, W. Then there's the angle below it. There's Y, X, Z. So Y, X, Z. You can also go the other way, Z, X, Y. And then the last one is the two angles together, W, X, Z. So W, X, Z, or opposite Z, X, W. Again, you can't just use the vertex because there are three. And notice that the vertex, when you're naming it, is always in the middle. Right? The last thing we are covering today is classifying angles based on their angle measures. So angles are measured in degrees. There's these little tools called protractors. You might have seen one look something like this. Since we don't have protractors, not everyone has one at home, we're not going to be using these like if we would normally. But this is what it looks like where you can measure an angle coming in here. But the angle measures, so everybody should know what a right angle looks like. It looks like the corner of a square. All right, it has this little box in the corner of it. That means it is a right angle. Right angles are 90 degrees, so you should be able to recognize a 90-degree angle. If it is smaller than 90 degrees, meaning the opening is closer, it's closed down, we call that an acute angle. If it's bigger, so meaning the opening is wider than that 90 degrees, it is an obtuse angle. That's going to be between 0 and 180. And then a straight angle is just a straight line. Pretty simple. These are the four types of angles that you're going to have to be able to, one, recognize by looking at it, saying that's less than 90, so it's acute. That's 90 degrees, so it's right angle. That's more than 90, so it's obtuse. And that is a straight line, so it's a straight angle. Or by giving an angle measure. I said if an angle is 72 degrees, you should be able to know that is less than 90, it's acute. Or if it's 110 degrees, that's more than 90, it is obtuse. That's your assignment today is just going to be a worksheet where you're naming angles and classifying them based on what they look like in the angle measure, and then you're going to sketch some of the angles. Take a picture of your finished work, and then attach it to the assignment when turning it in.